I come from Warren, Mass. I'm a lifelong Massachusetts resident. I'm a police officer now. I've never ran for office before. I have no ambition beyond that as a sheriff. I have no intention of running for any other office besides as a sheriff. One reason, the main reason I'm running for sheriff is both as a police officer and a taxpayer, kind of get sick and tired personally discussing how the sheriff's office is run. As a political machine internally, but most people know you get hired and promoted based on who you know, who you support. That needs to stop. That's not fiscally responsible for our tax dollars. It's not responsible, it's not fair to the hard-working men and women of the Sheriff's Department. That is one of the several reasons that I have a long list, but obviously my time is limited. We'll go through a few budget issues. Right now, for fiscal 2011, the budget is just around $40 million, about $5.6 million lower than it was 2 years ago. This is a huge problem, especially for staff shortages. Anyone familiar with the Sheriff's Office knows they have about 600 employees, less than 300 are COs. With 1,200 inmates, you divide that by 3 shifts a day, 7 days a week, days off, whatnot. That's pretty low coverage when you have 1,200 inmates behind the walls. Also, like I said, touched on hiring promotional process. We need to make that a fair process. It has not been a fair process. It's, like I said, it's based on who you know, who you support. That's how you get the job. That's not right. It's not fiscally responsible. People should get the job based on their qualifications, not because A gave more money than B. Because all of them, there's nothing saying B is not more qualified than A, but because A gave more money, we get the promotion. That's not fair. That's something we need to work on and needs to change. It's a department, the Sheriff's Department has become displaced with integrity. The department has continuously been riddled by the internal politics. Many people, like I said, know it, know people that work there, and it's ongoing. Again, like I said, I am not a politician. I'm a police officer. I've never been anything. I've never ran for office before. So a lot of the public speaking is new to me, so bear with me, please. I do public speaking as far as training forums and stuff like that. I can speak in front of 100, 200, 300 people on a training topic, but when you want to fill out for political purposes, it's a little different. I have spoken both with the union of the officers and superior officers union. Both have had concerns with the staffing levels. Again, that's something we need to touch on. So not only the fairness of the hiring process, but the budget as well. Like I said, being $5.5 million short, it makes it hard to hire. We need to look at the other side, the flip side, with the support and administrative staff, 300 plus. We need to look and carefully evaluate every single position there. Make sure that money is being spent properly. Make sure those positions are needed. If not, if we can streamline and put some positions together to save money, take that money, put it back down to the line level, and get some more officers in there to increase safety, as well as take some of that money for facilities safety and security, as well as increasing the conditions. The conditions there are deplorable. I give the men and women that work there credit. They work in a pretty bad place. Of course, it's jail. Nobody wants to be there. It'll never be a nice place, but it should be clean. It's not. It's kind of decrepit. It's falling apart. It's old. And as far as an expansion or something new for it, easily $100 million. And we know today's budget, that's not going to happen. I don't think there's any governor who's currently in office is going to sign off a $100 million expansion to Worcester County Jail. Every program in the office needs to be audited and evaluated. We need to make sure that those programs and services are running at maximum efficiency and the best way to use our budget dollars. If those aren't using the budget dollars correctly, time to cut back on it, put it towards the programs that are working more effectively. Do I want to add more programs and services? Absolutely. Is it feasible right now? No. Like I said, $5.6 million shorter now than we were before. Trying to find money to increase the staffing level, increase facility security alone, to stand the facility overall conditions is going to be difficult. So anything more than what we already have is kind of a far fetch without making cutbacks what we already have. We need to get back to the core services, make the core services effective, as well as financially, fiscally responsible. make sure we're spending our money right. Immigration issues. So I believe illegal immigrants should be deported after they commit a crime. Yes, they should be absolutely deported. However, I know as sheriff the reality of that. The sheriff does not have the authority to deport anybody. We can't just drag them to the airport, kick them out, see you later. It doesn't work that way. They have to notify ICE. ICE will then begin the process. But the process does not begin until after that inmate has served their sentence. So right now what we need to do is we need to push Congress to change regulations for ICE. That's the only way you're going to change the immigration. The immigration issue, as far as a sheriff saying, I'm going to kick out an illegal immigrant, good luck. You can't do that. You don't have the authority. The sheriff should work with our state and U.S. representatives, senators, to help push that issue. That's where the issue lies with the feds. Sheriff does not have the authority to reduce someone's sentence or release them prior to their mandated sentence. So it's not like the sheriff can just, instead of serving your time, we'll bring you to the airport, sayonara. It doesn't work that way. As much as I would love to do that, I'll board a plane and Con Air, see you later, it doesn't work that way. You have to work with ICE, and unfortunately ICE is the problem, we all know that, hence the Arizona law. Okay, so we need to work with that. I do believe the illegal immigrants should be deported strongly. Again, we have to work with ICE and push them real hard to make sure that happens. There are so many more issues, but like I said, the time I'm going to get cut, I usually always do. We cannot continue to allow the sheriff's office to run the way it has for the past 3 decades. The historical political ties and entrenchment have displaced the integrity of the office. As we know, like it's the whole internal part, politics and hiring, where money comes from. I'll put on one, the current sheriff, Sheriff Bodas, I had no issues with him. A lot of people like him, a lot of people don't like him, whatever you have on that. One thing though, he comes out of the gate of sheriff running for auditor with $750,000 in his campaign chest. The guy, to me, had no intentions of staying as sheriff. So it doesn't take someone to figure that one out. $750,000, ready to go for auditor. You know, he had that in the back of his head. I think anyone who has a large campaign chest when they run for something different, they had it larger than when they first went into office, they had plans. So, again, as I'm completely non-political. I'm not an entrenched employee. I've never got a job because I know somebody. I got a job because I worked for it. I applied for it. Things of that nature. I interviewed for it. I trained for it. I have, again, no political ties. Uh-oh. So I have not, will not accept any contributions from jail employees. I never will. And I believe that continues the internal nepotism. By continuing to take contributions from the employees that you're going to serve or work or manage is not right. It's going to continue the nepotism. We need to stop that. I'm a police officer, not a politician. I've seen firsthand the issues of society we've dealt with, that society has dealt with. I've dealt with all kinds of issues, robberies, sex assaults, child abduction, things of that nature. I've seen families torn from crime and death. I am a police officer, a person of integrity, pride, common sense. There is no room for politics when it comes to public safety. Safety first, not politics. We need to make the changes. I need your help. I'm the independent candidate. Support me. Vote for me in November.